Hello guys, welcome to SoniTeka video. Get comfortable, settle in, and enjoy, because today we're diving deep into one of the darkest, most atmospheric, and emotionally powerful post-apocalyptic worlds ever created. Today we're talking about Metro Exodus, a game that is brutal, beautiful, emotional, and unpredictable, a game that many consider the best chapter in the entire Metro trilogy. This is not just a simple review. This is a guided experience through everything Metro Exodus is trying to deliver, a slow burn, tense, layered journey filled with details. If you love games with strong narrative direction, heavy atmosphere, survival elements, and a unique visual identity, then you're in the right place. We'll start with the story, then move into the gameplay systems, semi-open world structure, characters, weapons, stealth, horror elements, PS4 versus PS5, performance, and finally, the score at the end. Let's begin. Story and atmosphere. Metro Exodus continues Artyom's story after the events of Metro Last Light. This time, we learn that the world might not be completely destroyed, that there may be surviving regions outside of the Moscow Metro. That is where the title Exodus comes from. This is a journey, an escape, a search for a new beginning. The game starts in classic Metro fashion: dark tunnels, terrifying mutants, the constant need for filters, personal narration, isolation, and the fight for every breath. But very quickly, the game pushes you out of the underground and into something entirely different. Open zones, nature, ruined cities, frozen lakes of the Volga, and later even the burning deserts of the Caspian Sea. Atmosphere is where Metro Exodus reaches its absolute peak. The sense of loneliness, cold, fear, and hope is constantly present while traveling with the Spartan Rangers aboard the Aurora train. You truly feel as if you are part of an expedition into the unknown. The conversations inside the train, the quiet moments, the interactions with Anna, Miller, Duke, Damir, and others, all of these elements give the game heart and weight. There is no rush, no forcing. Metro Exodus wants you to breathe together with the world you explore, and that is one of the game's greatest strengths. Metro Exodus is a combination of linear storytelling and semi-open areas that the developers call sandboxes. These are not traditional open-world maps like in Assassin's Creed or Far Cry. They are handcrafted regions built specifically to support the story. Each zone comes with its own missions, secrets, hazards, and an entirely different tone. Stealth and combat remain the foundation of the Metro series. Combat is heavy, brutal, and realistic. Ammunition is precious. Weapons require maintenance, cleaning, and constant modification. Sand, dirt, and weather conditions affect weapon performance. Stealth is excellent. You can disable lights, hide in shadows, silently eliminate enemies, or avoid them entirely. Some missions lean completely into survival. Low ammo, limited filters, mutants approaching from all directions. Other missions feel more like a road trip: daylight exploration, scavenging for supplies, discovering new camps, and meeting different surviving factions. Crafting is simple but essential. You can modify weapons on the fly, but deeper changes require a workbench. The weapon modification system is one of the best in any FPS game. A single gun can become a totally different weapon depending on the mods you choose, characters, and narrative choice. And Anna now form the emotional core of the story. Their relationship is one of the strongest elements in the entire game. Miller, Duke, Stepan, Damir, and the rest of the Aurora crew each have their own subplots that bring life and realism to the narrative. Importantly, your decisions matter. If you kill enemies you could spare, behave aggressively, or ignore innocent survivors, certain characters may not survive the journey. Metro Exodus rewards patient, quiet, humane play. It is rare for FPS games to focus so much on morality, and here it is, handled exceptionally well. Horror elements. The game isn't a classic horror title, but it contains missions that are deeply unsettling. Abandoned stations, ruined labs, dark tunnels, isolated structures, distorted noises, and the constant threat of mutants all create a powerful sense of tension. Metro Exodus relies on atmosphere rather than cheap jump scares. It cultivates fear through silence, darkness, and uncertainty. And it works. Graphics and performance. Metro Exodus is visually stunning. The updated PS5 version brings massive improvements across the board. PS4, 30 frames per second most of the time, occasional performance drops, longer loading times, weaker lighting, and environmental detail. PS5, Enhanced Edition, smooth 60 frames per second, ray-traced global illumination, sharper textures, lightning fast loading, overall more stable, fluid, and detailed gameplay. The difference is dramatic. If you own a PS5, the Enhanced Edition is hands down the best way to experience the game. It looks like a high-end PC version running at very high settings. Weapons and equipment weapons are one of the biggest highlights of Metro Exodus. Nearly every gun has multiple transformation paths. Kalash, Tikar pneumatic rifle, Shambler shotgun, Bulldog rifle, Valve sniper, modified revolver, improvised explosives, and traps. The cleaning system is a small but brilliant touch. If you want true immersion, this mechanic adds depth and realism. The gas mask returns as a critical part of gameplay. Cracked glass, taping the visor, changing filters. These little moments heighten the feeling of vulnerability and survival. Each region of the game has its own identity and mood. The Volga, dark, cold, cult-controlled settlements, swamp mutants, the Caspian Desert, sandstorms, bandits, intense heat, Mad Max-like vibes, the taiga, forests, traps, tribal survivors, urban ruins, a return to classic metro claustrophobia and darkness. The pace is slower than most modern shooters, but intentionally so. Metro Exodus wants you to explore, observe, listen, and survive, not sprint through action scenes. Metro Exodus stands as one of the most atmospheric and emotionally driven games of this generation. It combines powerful storytelling, brutal survival, a beautifully crafted world, and exceptional music. It may not appeal to players seeking constant action, but for fans of narrative-heavy FPS games, it is a masterpiece. On PS5, the experience becomes even better, smoother, more detailed, and more immersive. If you want a game that pulls you into its world, keeps you tense, invests you into its characters, and delivers a meaningful journey, Metro Exodus is an excellent choice. Our final score for this game will be 8.7 out of 10. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to leave a like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel for more in-depth gaming content. Your support means a lot and helps the channel grow. And as always, thank you for being here. We'll see you in the next video.